Oh man, all right. You see the thumbnail, man. You see what we better be talking about, the scoring title. And the reason why I'm talking about the scoring title is because a lot of stuff came to my attention. Uh, kind of observing how the scoring title is going this year would have been a close race, and especially the people that's involved and how they're trying to get to that achievement. So we'll be talking about that, man. So go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching this through YouTube, and if you're watching it through Facebook, make sure you go over to the YouTube channel as well and subscribe. So you can get all the content as it comes out. So, oh, there go my boy Zoe.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, I'm gonna talk my junk real quick because
Oh,
and and
no,
and then,
you
and,
got to.
and then I want you to commentate on what I say as we're
Got you.
going through it, and then we go open it up for the people that's listening. Let them join the panel as well or call in or
Okay.
whatnot. Um, I want, bro. So the scoring title stuff, man. First of all, I didn't even know what the real requirements was at
I didn't
first.
either. I didn't either.
And so I went looking into it and I was like, oh shoot, we're doing this all wrong. So let me first say this, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think because the scoring title is really just a recognition. It's like a noteworthy thing, but it's no award for like defensive player of the year or MVP.
Right.
You get a
Right.
trophy.
Right.
But I think the NBA should revisit that, and I think they should have a trophy for the scoring title. But they need to make the requirements more stringent. And
Got to.
I think the trophy should be named after Wilt or Michael.
That's fair.
How you feel about
No,
that?
no argument whatsoever from me. Especially, well, we're gonna get into one of the reasons why they need to make it more stringent here in a minute, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, Michael will a scoring an actual to make it like one of the absolute awards, like a real award because people can brag on it. I remember when KD was the youngest scoring champ ever. It was a
right,
thing. It's a it's a
right.
it's a prestigious title. So I think we need to start treating it with some more respect.
Got
Players
to,
included.
because they making the
Players,
mockery of it. So
they killing it.
we gonna talk about the history of it, but let me first explain why I think I think it should be named after Wilt or Mike. Well, first of all, Michael Jordan has 10 scoring titles. 10. Wilt is as great of a scorer as he was. One year he averaged 50, right? He only has 7 scoring titles. Michael Jordan has 10,
10.
right? So if you're going to name a trophy, it has to be one of those guys. Out of the top 10 highest scoring efforts in a season, Wilt and Michael together has more than half of them.
That's crazy.
Right.
That is
So
crazy.
the and the reason why it's so amazing what Mike and Wilt did as scoring champs is that not only did they have the highest scoring average that season, they also had the most points total that
Which
season
is not the same thing. Keep in
because they
mind,
was playing all the games. And I'm gonna
all
show you about
different.
all the games. That's Michael Jordan. That's a snapshot of Michael Jordan, and from '86 when he won his first scoring title. By the way, his rookie season, did you know that Michael Jordan had the most points accumulated that season as a rookie, but he didn't win the scoring title because Bernard King had a higher average?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's
But,
that's
but
pretty much.
yeah, no, it's not really whack because that was the rule. It was going off average like
That's
it is
true.
now.
Yeah, and it is still going off of average, but I think most points in the season needs to be looked at because you can manipulate average because if it's a game I don't play, my average don't change. But so
Right.
mhm,
Right, and we go get to what the requirement should be. All right, so there's
mhm,
Michael Jordan. Look at the red brackets in the middle, and look how many games Michael Jordan is playing in a
good.
season. On top of having a crazy high scoring average, he was averaging what 37 a year.
Dude didn't
Or was
miss
it
games, bro. He just
right?
didn't miss games.
It's crazy. So you do 8. You get 10 scoring titles while playing at least at the very least he played 78 games.
The least.
At the very least, right? So every year that Michael Jordan won the scoring title, he also had the most points that season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look how different it is this season.
Mm-hmm.
There's DeMar DeRozan and Trae Young leading in points total because
Mm-hmm.
they both are playing 70 plus games so far.
Tatum's right
And
there too.
right, and this was taken before the last couple of games. This was from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So they got more now.
Mm-hmm.
Look all the way at number 11 where LeBron is.
It's so crazy.
He's not even in the top 10 in total points for the season.
Nope.
Let me show you how crazy it is, Zoe. Look at number 13. That's DeMar DeRozan's co-star.
Teammate. The B. The one B. That's crazy.
So LeBron is barely outscoring DeMar DeRozan, who's the current number 1 total points guy. LeBron is barely outscoring his co-star, right? The difference between DeMar DeRozan's points total and LeBron's is 400 points almost.
Mm-hmm.
What the difference between LeBron and Westbrook's points is less than it.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Bron ain't got no shame. Bron ain't got no
shame. So my whole purpose on here was to kind of shed some light on, how they're looking at the scoring title, and how they should be looking at it, how they're looking at it, and we'll do a little history.
Mm-hmm.
When the scoring title was first being given to people,
mm-hmm.
or being noteworthy, it was around 46, 47, and 1946, 1947,
mm-hmm.
and the way they did it was by total points that season.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you look at when it got up to around 1967, Dave Bing had the most total points that year, but Oscar Robertson was averaging the most points.
Yeah.
Right. So being in this big O, sometimes rules changes based on
who the player is.
Right. Who it affects. So giving Dave Bing the scoring title over Big O probably didn't sit well with the NBA.
It sounded and looked wrong.
Right. So guess when they changed it to average?
The next year.
So it went from being total points to average points after this happened, right? Of course, the next year, Elvin Hayes won it as a rookie. The only rookie to ever win it. Michael Jordan could have been if the rule change didn't happen, but the only rookie to ever win the scoring title was Elvin Hayes. But he also had the highest scoring average and total points because he played all the games. Oscar only played around 50-something games that season, right? So that's why he didn't have the total.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So, but they changed it to average, right? So that's the history of them changing it to average. However, right, like I mentioned earlier, 84, 85 was when Bernard King was averaging 32.9 points a game, but only played 55 games. So Michael Jordan, as a rookie, had more points than him.
Yep.
But because they changed the rule, Bernard King got the scoring title.
Yep.
So now they're going by average, and it affected Michael Jordan, who was, the NBA's, darling.
Yeah.
So what you think happened the next season?
We got to do something else.
That's when they changed it to 70%. You got to play at least 70% of the game, which mean 58 games. So Bernard King, when they saying that, dang, Bernard King got it with just playing 55 games, we got to change it. So they changed it to 58 games. So the current way we're going about giving people the scoring title is by average and a threshold of 58 games, right? That's where we at right now. The reason why I had to point out the history of it, because people think that just because we're seeing a problem with how it's being done and then trying to change the rules is hating on LeBron. But I've showed you in the past the 2 or 3 times that was changed was based on we seen something and was like, nah, we gotta tweak it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fair to do that, right? So here's what I think should happen.
Okay.
But because Wilt and Michael made it this great where they played all 82 games most times.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the second column from the right. Look at Michael Jordan scoring 3,000 points.
3,000.
Just under 3,000, 2,500, 26, 27, 20, that's a lot of points. He was given the highest average and the highest total.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they should make the rule and the requirement that you have to have, that way we don't have to worry about the game threshold.
Mm-hmm.
When they got to play that game, you have to have the highest points total and the highest points per game to win the scoring title. And if you don't have both, then we'll just name one for the points per game and one guy, and whoever the highest total will. It'd be 2 separate awards at that point if one guy can't consolidate and do both. Right, that way we won't have what we have now with LeBron cherry picking and trying to figure out what games he's going to play down the stretch just so he can hit the 58, keep his scoring average where it's at, and win the scoring title. It's making a mockery of the whole award. And the last thing I'm gonna say before I let you jump in, it's Kobe Bryant. He I think he won 2 or 3 scoring titles.
Mm-hmm.
One year, it was neck and neck with him and Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant played the final game of the season, and then later that week, Kobe, or a couple of days later, Kobe had his final game. All Kobe needed was 38 points to win the scoring title. Do you know what Kobe Bryant did?
Sat out.
Kobe Bryant sat that last game out because he was resting up for the playoffs. So
sound like a Kobe thing to do.
Right. This is the mindset that real champions and real GOATs have.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna keep playing. And just like when he scored, I want to say 60 or 70 points in 3 quarters, and Phil Jackson sat him down for the 4th because the game was over. He could have stayed out there and got more. Right? He could have stayed out there and got more. He was so hot, but Phil sat him down. Steve Kerr did the same thing with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson went off and sat down.
Yep, sat him down.
Yeah. Right. So this is the mindset that GOATs and greats have. And I'm just not seeing that from LeBron. And I think to avoid this, they need to change the rule. We don't want to see this again. We're going to have to watch it one more year because he's going to do the same thing next year to get Kareem's record. But we shouldn't have to sit here and watch this dude cherry pick games based on his scoring average and trying to maintain it, man. But I'm on my soapbox, man. I'm gonna let you jump in, and then I'm gonna share the link in the comments if y'all want to join real quick, and then we're gonna get to some of these comments too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, man. I have never 100. We always argue. We always debate when it comes to topics. This is 100% stone cold on your, you know what, facts. Like, it's just facts. It's not a LeBron bashing session. This man is in the middle of a play. There's still mathematically a chance that he could play in a playing game to even have a chance at the playoffs. But you got to play real basketball to win, and which the Lakers haven't been doing this season. Playing real basketball to win means I can't worry about how many points I'm scoring per quarter. I can't worry about if I get enough looks. Granted, you the best player on the team. Whether AD's playing or not, we don't know. But you're gonna get the looks. But you're so concerned with that you played. What was that? The Pelicans the other night.
Right.
Maintained the average, but didn't. I think you might have lost 0.2 points. But tonight you sitting out in the middle of a chance for you to play in the play-in game where you need wins to do it.
And AD just came back.
AD's back. It looks horrible. It looks horrible, man. And you can't tell me this is a coincidence, man. I don't believe it. LeBron, the LeBron stands will probably say, man, he just needs rest. If he's hurt, don't let him play. Listen, I saw Armando Bacot last night turn his ankle and come right back in because he wanted his team to win the basketball game. Granted, that's NCAA's, but when it means something, you try. Kobe wasn't concerned with those scoring title. Kobe wanted a ring.
Yeah.
Kobe wanted a ring. That's the mindset of a champion. And I think that you made some really, really good points. But I think the best point was if you consolidate this, I think it adds more awards, which I think is not a bad thing because at the time, and then you can have the title as undisputed scoring champion when you have the most total points and the most per game. Because at that point, nobody can take that away from you. It's good to have the most total points. It's good to have the most points per game as long as you're playing, whatever you percentage as far as the rules go now. But to have both of those, that's a bigger stamp to me. That's a stamp of approval. That means this boy get buckets no matter what, and he's there to play games because you can't score 2,000, points if you ain't playing in a whole bunch of games. That's availability. That's durability. That's just saying I'm going to go out here no matter what. That's commendable, man. We need to start appreciating and giving flowers to them dudes that's going out there, win, lose, or draw, sacrificing like DeMar DeRozan, bro. That Bulls team is good, and he plays. He's just gonna play.
Little 6 foot Trae Young is right behind DeMar, and they both played 70+ games this season.
They're playing the games, man. In LeBron, you gonna hold on to that. What he got? 30.1 now.
30.1 and 30.3. Yeah, 30.1. I think
he's tied with Giannis. Him and Giannis going back and forth. But Giannis is playing right now. The game might be over, but he's playing today.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Kevin Durant is right behind there with 29.8.
He's playing.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant is disqualified from it because he's only played 50 games this season, so he won't be able to hit the 58. Right. So, but yeah, I mean, it should only be this race should be between Trae and DeMar. To be honest with you, they're both averaging around 29. And they have the most. I mean, actually, the way I said it, you should have both. So it should either be separated. Give DeMar DeRozan his flowers this season, and then give LeBron as well. But like you said, neither one of them can be the undisputed scoring champ this year. Exactly. So it would. I don't know. Should there be a trophy given out if you don't do both?
That's why I think the trophy should only be given out to undisputed because if that means. That makes it mean more. You can have the title, because you can get the title anyway of whoever has the most points at the end of the season, they'll be commended for that. They'll say, hey, man, this person had the most, whether they win the scoring title or not, somebody will say something about it, I'll say. But, you ain't going to have the title of scoring champ because you didn't average the most after this season. Right. But I think so if you combine the two and say, okay, these are the requirements for scoring champ, we're going to make it an official NBA award. But in order to get this award to be etched in to the history books forever, like really in the legal documents, like they do MVP and 6-man and defensive player of the year, I think you got to average the most points per game. That means you score them when you play, and most total points. If you do that, that's the Iron Man award to me. That means I'm playing and I'm getting buckets when I play. So I think they should definitely make that one a trophy.
Let me get to these comments before I let Chris say his piece real quick. Morris said he ducking the remaining good teams and will play the lesser teams to protect his lead. You agree with that?
I think that he just knows that how many he's at 58 now, right?
No, he's at 55. No, he's at 50,
my boy finally
56.
got on the camera.
He's at 56.
Yeah, 56.
Chris said everything LeBron did this year permanently stained what would have been an okay legacy. It would have been better than okay. It's still gonna be better than okay, except the stains will hurt him when compared to people like MJ, Tim Duncan, Bird, Magic, Kareem, who don't have those stains. Right. And even Kobe to a certain extent, because the only stains he really got is the ones that the media just keep trying to harp on him about because the media just don't like him. But
Fellas, what's up, man? How y'all living, man?
What's
What's
up,
going
man?
on with you, bro?
Good, man. All good. Finally got to get in here.
Yeah. Hey, Bliss said I'm
time.
already hearing the Bron jock strap sniffers defending his behavior. Yes, they are. They are defending it. They defend him like he's their brother or something. Like you don't even know him. Like you gotta, if you like basketball, and I like people who like basketball more than the players who are playing it. Like I like basketball, and I'm somewhat addicted to it. And I can't help that, because I played so long, so
It
I'm
makes you
addicted to it.
appreciate actual
Right.
aspects of the game.
Right.
Definitely.
I'm addicted to basketball, and I like it more than I like any player. Right. It's just so happened if I do end up liking a player, it's mainly because they reached a level of greatness and what they was able to master in basketball. And I appreciate that. You get what I'm saying? I was talking to somebody the other night, and I said, this is the difference between LeBron fans and fans of people like MJ, Kobe, Kyrie, KD, right? Is LeBron, I made an observation. I said most LeBron fans are either athletes from other sports, like football players like Shannon Sharp, right? Or they're non-athletes like Nick Wright. I'm using them as examples, but they're either non-athletes or athletes of other sports, football players, or they're basketball players who didn't play a highly sophisticated, highly skilled type of basketball. They were the Shaqs and stuff like that, not the Hakeems that was highly skilled. So and I said the reason why most people of that ilk flock to LeBron or Westbrook or guys like that is because it's easy for them to follow the game when they can just look at speed, strength, athleticism, stats versus looking at, man, did you see his reverse pivot? Did you see that footwork? Did you see this or
basketball
that?
IQ stuff.
Right. The stuff that they can't pick up on, it's easier for them to follow the LeBron. And you can follow the sport of basketball and start watching basketball today and appreciate LeBron's game because everything that is there to be appreciated is on the surface.
Yeah, you see it. Run fast.
But the stuff, right, but the stuff that you appreciate about Kobe, Hakeem, KD, Kyrie, it don't jump out. You can't see it on the surface. That's why people that say good things about Kyrie only say he's a great ball handler. Nothing else.
That's crazy.
They don't appreciate nothing else he does. Everything that they appreciate about Steph is his great 3-point shooting. They don't appreciate nothing else. They don't appreciate the fact that he's running his defender through multiple screens. They don't appreciate that how many layups Golden State get just because two people pays attention to Steph Curry when he runs through a Draymond Green screen and somebody's able to slip it for a layup. They don't see all that. They don't see the fact that Steph Curry has Reggie Miller and Ray Allen with his off-ball game, and he got a little bit of Kyrie with his with-the-ball game, right? He can be a standstill catch-and-shoot player like Steve Kerr. Like, he's got all of that stuff to his game, and he's got the layup package of a CP3 or Tony Parker. Like, he's got everything.
Got it.
But they only point out his 3-point shooting. They only point out Kyrie Irving's handling ability, and they miss all the nuances, and that's because they don't have that here. So LeBron is a hero to them because if it weren't for LeBron, they wouldn't even be able to follow the game.
And you're right about that because you see it in today. Like, a lot of posts get posted up with great moves happening, right? And the first thing people want to scream is, "Oh, that's a travel." Well, you don't understand the rules, so you don't understand that now, technically speaking, you get 3 steps depending on where you pick your dribble up at.
Right.
It's true.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So it's getting ridiculous, man. People only follow what they can understand rather than trying to understand the sport before they, fall fan base to a superstar. Right. So you speaking facts, man.
Right. If it wasn't for LeBron, Nick Wright wouldn't even have a chance to even talk basketball.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all you can talk about.
Really dissect like real basketball though. I've heard him say who he like and who he feels like is better than the other, but I ain't hear him talk about real basketball. Like real
it's
stuff
only numbers.
that or Shaq.
He's a numbers guy. He's a nerd.
He's a nerd.
Yeah.
He's just that's the only thing that makes sense to him.
Right.
He determined golf.
Yeah, he determined LeBron was the best with a calculator. Like he took a calculator and figured out who the better player was. That's why he liked Daryl Morey so much. Him and Daryl Morey, I think they friends. He loves Daryl Morey because Daryl Morey is another guy who was like analytically, James Harden is great. Let's give up Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, Steph Curry, 2 first-round picks. And there was another person. Let's give up all this to them just for James Harden, and we're going to give it to a team that we got to see in the playoffs. That's how dumb Daryl Morey is. But he came up with that. He came up with that decision based on a calculator, bro.
And he's not even getting nearly half the free throw attempts he was getting last year. So
which is great. Which is like he it looks bad. It looks bad.
It does. Yeah. It does.
Those first 5 or 6 games, it was like, oh, Philly definitely won this trade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even because I'm a KD fan or I'm watching the Nets. It's like you have to watch. Like Brooklyn, without a doubt, won that trade.
Facts.
And if Ben Simmons was playing, they wouldn't even be in the play-in. They probably would have snuck up to probably about 6 or 5 in the East.
Ben Simmons would have made the difference on that team.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because that's what they're lacking. They lacking defense.
Exactly what
they you look at James Harden and Joel Embiid, the first 5 or 6 games, it was like, oh, this is so beautiful. The chemistry is like they've been playing for years. They even got Tyrese Maxey hot, so he's dropping 20 a game now. After they went 5-0 or 6-0, those first couple of games with James Harden, the honeymoon was over.
It was over.
James started shooting like shit. Joel
got
Embiid,
film on him.
The game that they played Brooklyn, where Brooklyn went down there and Simmons was on the bench and all that other stuff, and they beat the cat piss out of the Sixers.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid and James Harden only had as many points as they did because they got to the free throw line.
So many, and I said, I don't know if I tweeted it or I said this in the Facebook group. I was like, the refs are keeping them in the game. This game would be over in the first quarter if it wasn't for those free throws. They put Joel Embiid to the line, I think 10 times in the first quarter. But like you said, after the first 5 games, the honeymoon is over. The carriage turned into a pumpkin again. Cinderella foot lost her slipper.
And they complain about Harden so bad in the comments, man. I'm looking at them.
They're getting at him because now the car isn't topless. The titties is out. Titties over titles have been exposed.
Yeah,
it's been exposed. Let me get these comments. That's wild. This is good information. I appreciate it, Bliss. Bronsexuals be trying to fight you about some of the things you say. They stay fight me in the group. They cannot try to tussle from this. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Good. Hold on, let me see what this is. Kofi said, oh yeah. You got the keychain Friday? Yeah. Mo, you got yours too, Friday too, right?
Got it on right now, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt. What's up, Lamar?
Mar,
what's up, man?
What up, Lamar?
Lakers fans pissed right now. This fool put this team together. Now he has given up on them. Bro, I'm telling you, man. He leading from the back this year.
I'll be back here if y'all need.
This man leading from the back this season, man.
That man ain't even leading from the back, man. He teleconferencing. He from home making phone calls.
Bro, man. Michael Jordan said, I would never tell one of my teammates to do something I'm not willing to do. And evidently, LeBron won't even play through a sprained ankle. I mean, he's really sitting this game out after 36 hours of rest from the last game they had. It's not a back-to-back.
No.
Anthony Davis just came back from injury. Like he's the probably person that shouldn't be playing 2 games in a row, but it's not even a back-to-back. This is almost 3 days since the last game, and he's sitting this game out. And he's sitting it out because he's looking and saying, will I be able to get 30 against them? Nah, probably not. I'll wait.
It's Denver, right? That's what they got today?
Denver, yeah. Yeah, they got Boogie Cousins and Jokic down low.
I love what Boogie's doing, man. I've been having high hopes on him. I wanted him to stay with Milwaukee. Like Boogie, he's not what he used to be, but he could still put his back to the basket, facilitate, get to the foul line, play defense. Because even if it's a foul, you're now hesitant to go down to the paint because you see Boogie.
Yeah.
Like,
You're hesitant to go down there anyway because it's Boogie. I mean, it might not be Sacramento Boogie, but I mean, Boogie is still Boogie.
Absolutely.
Boogie's still a big dude with skills. You know what I'm saying?
And then him and Denver has kind of like, dare I say, rejuvenated him, because I ain't seen him play this good on the last 3 or 4 teams that he been with.
Yeah,
maybe Golden State when he was with KD and they was doing something that year. But I haven't seen him be like this since Sacramento and New Orleans.
Yeah, I just seen him take the ball coast to coast and dunk it. Like when I saw that, I said,
when he do that,
I said, okay, he feeling this. He like where he at right now.
Yo, absolutely. There was when they get healthy, they're gonna be very scary. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter coming back. That team is really gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they're gonna be.
There was a game that DeMarcus had to start, and that boy was wilding. He had like 14 points in the first quarter. He was perfect from 3. He was hitting the mid range. He was bodying down low, getting boards, and I was like, "Yo, Boogie, you okay? You got something on your heart? Like, what's going on?"
That man won a contract, man.
Wrong. They should have told Boogie before AD. Like,
AD, I don't know what the over under is for him getting injured again, but I mean,
real quick, I just want to let y'all know. I got this game on. It's about to start. Lakers Nuggets, and AD got this hippie afro. They about to get their ass whooped.
Because of the afro, man.
Just because of the afro, they about to get their ass handed to them.
The phone number is scrolling at the bottom, 336-456-6453. We're gonna take some phone calls before we leave and go watch this Lakers game. But real quick, man, I want y'all to call in and just tell me what y'all think about the LeBron. At this point, it ain't even stat padding no more. It is stat padding for his legacy. He thinks that a scoring title will look really good on his resume for whatever he's trying to build his resume for, for his legacy. I mean, the GOAT conversation was over 8 years ago. Like, he's not even in the debate for that. The only people that is keeping him in the debate is doing it for their job because they went so hard for him publicly in the media, and they just stand the course. But they know good and well it's a wrap. Like you have to prove you're a better player than MJ, and then you have to destroy his resume. And it's a hard it's hard to do either. It's hard for any wing player to be as a complete offensive and defensive player as MJ, who's also a great shooter, distributor, driver to the rim, post player, got good footwork, good shot mechanics, good free throw shooter. Like you already asking a lot of a wing player to be that complete, and the only person that got that close was Kobe. And then you're asking also you to be that complete as a player on offense and defense, and then do something better than what MJ did legacy wise, as far as 10 scoring titles, 6 rings, no losses in the finals, no game 7s in the finals, MVPs, 4 or 5 league MVPs, sell the most shoes in the world. You like what you're asking someone to do to surpass Michael Jordan is almost impossible. And you can't come out of the gate waiting to year 14 to develop a jump shot. You still can't shoot free throws, and you lost 6 finals and missed the playoffs your last three years in the league. Like, that makes no sense.
Hey, how many scoring titles does Bron have? Does he have any?
One.
He got one. He got one.
So I had said this a while ago. I can't remember who I was. Okay, AD, be careful. I had said this a while ago, and I was saying that LeBron is so far out of the GOAT conversation that he feels if he gets the scoring record, that it will put him back on the top for like that Mount Rushmore, that number one position. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
You can't. I mean, it's a great thing to have. It's great, but you played 20 years to get it. You know what I'm saying? And in those 20 years, your resume looks nothing like Jordan's.
None.
It doesn't even
Nothing
look like Kobe's. And
Now,
you are vying for like the title of GOAT. Even when he said that he won that title in Cleveland, he was like, that right there made me the greatest of all time. How do you think that? If it wasn't for Kyrie averaging 40 a game with you, you wouldn't have won that title. If it wasn't for Kyrie hitting that shot, you wouldn't have won that title.
Now, I do say these things when conversations like this happen, right? He wasn't saved by that shot because we have to look at the circumstances that led up to the shot. And I say the same thing when he played for Miami, right? Yes, Ray Allen hit that shot and it gave him a help, but LeBron was the reason that they were even in that game in the first place. Minus, if you take away from the shot, you still have 2 missed free throws, huge missed free throws for Manu Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard, right? Then LeBron comes down court. He hits, I think, the next consecutive 12 points for the Heat.
Right.
Then he misses that third. He misses that 3 line, that 3-point shot, and then the shot happens, right? Same thing with Kyrie. The block on Iguodala leads up to the shot with Kyrie.
True.
Correct. And then they came back and handled business in Game 7, right? So
yeah, and the largest takeaway we have to look at for that, right? We just say it's Kyrie shot. They wouldn't have been in that predicament have not J.R. Smith not showed up.
Facts.
We forget J.R. Smith was unguardable for games 3 on out.
We forget J.R. Smith was unguardable from the time he joined the league out of high school with the Pelicans. And then we thought he was just a athletic guard with handles and street ball moves until he got to Denver and they started calling him J.R. Swish and jump shot Jesus. I don't know where his jump shot came from, right? And this dude was nasty. Then got to New York and was even more nasty. But when he got to Cleveland, they turned him into Kyle Korver. This all you're gonna do is shoot threes. And you know how good you got to be because Ray Allen did that. Ray Allen was another slasher who can get to the hole, who can handle the ball. Milwaukee had him playing backup point guard behind Sam Cassell. He would start as the 2, and when Sam Cassell went to the bench, George Carl would let Ray Allen be a point. Like people just don't understand how much Ray Allen did with Milwaukee and Seattle. The dude was a complete basketball player. And then he got to Boston, and they said, hey, look, we're going to have you running off. We're going to turn you into Reggie Miller because we know you can shoot, and we're going to let Paul Pierce handle the ball and Rondo handle the ball. You're just going to be a shooter. You know how hard it is to do that in your career when you've been doing it a whole different way your whole career. J.R. Smith had to do that for LeBron. Chris Bosh had to do it for LeBron. Kevin Love had to do it for LeBron. And to a certain extent, Wade and Kyrie had to do it for LeBron. But LeBron never has been asked to change his game from being a ball dominant point forward, point guard that can call his own number whenever he wants to, and everyone has to adjust to him. Michael Jordan made an adjustment when Phil showed up the Bulls and went into the triangle offense. They took the ball out of his hand when he was averaging 37, 7, and 7.
Jeez.
As a point guard.
That
right?
is
He said, I'm taking the ball out of your hand and we go install this triangle offense, and Pippen is probably going to have the ball more than you. That's totally different than what LeBron has been doing his whole career. And Bliss made a good point. He said the turnover record negates the scoring record off the bat. How can you be the GOAT if you have the most turnovers? And which he does. He has the most turnovers and counting in NBA history.
What's going on, family?
What's up, Mike? The difference in resumes between Michael Jordan and Bron is literally a Hall of Fame career difference. 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs, 1 regular season MVP, 9 scoring titles, 4 first team all defense, and 1 defensive player of the year.
You could split that in half, and that would still be 2 Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah.
Now we would. I mean, we will say this: LeBron's resume doesn't hold nowhere near as much weight as NBA, right? But
Right.
there are some things that we have to take into account for LeBron's resume as well. Like he did he got cheated out of Defensive Player of the Year behind Marc Gasol.
Marc Gasol, he did.
Clearly, LeBron, you were the better defender that year. Things happened. That's okay. But even in Miami, you wasn't even talked about for Defensive Player of the Year, and you were doing great things. You were playing the passing lanes. When Paul George started to emerge, you started to guard him. Granted, he still was cooking you,
Cooking
but
him like
you
Sunday's
stepped up.
breakfast.
You stepped up. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron kind of after that year where Indiana, we put them out, right? LeBron kind of took a step back and stopped playing defense on the wings. Like he wasn't even guarding Melo anymore. He wasn't guarding Paul George. Like, so it's one of those things, man. You got to look at it like, okay, he's did great this year. He got cheated, but what has he? How did he bounce back?
Right.
He hasn't.
Yeah. I mean, being under Spoelstra and Pat Riley, you're gonna be forced to play great defense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
After he left Miami, that's when he stopped. But he played great defense that first year AD showed up with LA. He played great defense that year.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, he did. I forgot about that.
I was going to say that I think like amongst us, like when we talk about LeBron, I don't think there's any. I think all of us know LeBron is a great player. We all know that probably the best small forward ever to play the game. I think us as hoop heads,
Bird is up there. It's a debate with Bird, but go ahead.
I got you, and that's fair. But I think the problem and the reason why so many people have that hatred because it's like this younger generation, they immediately put him in the GOAT conversation, like right when he won his first title, and then that's how that whole, ESPN, all these social media outlets started taking over the narrative and they wanted to run with it and stuff. And now we're at this conjunction with the debate where like people just, they reach so hard just to try to prove who's the GOAT and who's not, But I think amongst us, like basketball heads who actually either watched it or played it, like we know he's great. We just don't. Some of us just don't believe he's the GOAT.
Right.
And some people can't handle that. It's just they lose their minds with it. I'm just like it's nothing wrong with the argument, but damn, don't bring up Jordan's gambling as a reason why.
Right.
Hey, I got to pause real quick, man, just to salute Jamal Burney, man. Hey, I ain't know Jamal Burney ever watched any of my lives, man, but hey, Jamal Burney is a legend in the state I'm from, man, as a basketball player, man. And I think in the city of Greensboro, every point guard, as a matter of fact, I know every point guard from my generation and a little bit after and a little bit before modeled that game after that one dude, Jamal Burney. I can go to any gym in Greensboro, and if it's a point guard my age, they got one or two moves from Jamal Burney. 100%, man. So yeah, I just wanted to salute Jamal on that, man. And thanks for watching, bro. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube channel too, Jamal. All right, my bad. Go ahead.
No, that was just the point I wanted to make. I think they give you mail, they give you a lot of shit, and you be extra sometimes about the LeBron debate. But at the same time, though, like I'm not on it as much as you are with that, but it's hard to deny some of the things you're saying, And I know I'm kind of biased, obviously, because I'm a Jordan head, but at the same time, it's like you look at some of these Laker games and you're like, LeBron, what are we doing, man? Like, what's going on? So it's just, I don't know, man. I kind of feel.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this, Mike. What is your best guess on why he's sitting out these games late down the stretch?
It's honestly, it's hard to say. I already said he should shut it down and just this year is a wash, But like a lot of people are saying, like he wants that scoring title. But to me, I'm just like, LeBron's not an idiot. He's a smart dude. So it's like, okay, you get the scoring title, but what is this doing for your legacy? What is this doing for your career? You know, it's like you're 37 and you getting the scoring title, which is an accomplishment. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, is it really worth that in a losing season? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see everything I said at the beginning, Mike?
No, I just saw that you guys were on, so I tried to jump on.
Okay. Yeah, you got to have to go back and watch it, man. I broke it down, but I'm gonna say this one thing about Kobe. He had a chance to go for the scoring title in the final game of the season that he was battling with Kevin Durant for the scoring title, right? All he needed was 38 points, but his team was in, getting ready for the playoffs. He sat that game out just to rest for the playoffs. He didn't go for the scoring title in the 38 points because it wasn't that important to him, right? That right there says more to me than what LeBron manipulating the entire season and only playing the minimum 58 games and trying to maintain his 30 points per game average and getting a scoring title. Like that's not going to mean more to me, but Kobe actually denying himself the scoring title for the playoffs means more to me than what it would be if LeBron won it.
And let's not sit here and act like if KD didn't have to sit out that month and a half, that LeBron would even be a factor in that scoring title this year.
Yeah, KD would probably get it. I mean, if KD had the enough games, I think he's at 51, right? So so they got 4 games left. So the most he can get is 55, which will be 3 short of the minimum. But if it wasn't for that, he's at 29.8 points, so he would be right in the mix. Yeah, and it's still a loophole that if KD really wanted to go for it, there's a loophole he can use because there's a footnote that says even if you don't have the minimum amount of games, if your scoring average is so overwhelmingly, and they use if you had 58 games, could I take your average and and divide it or multiply it, however they do it with 58 games, would you have a higher scoring average than everybody, then you would win it. So if Kevin Durant wanted to go crazy and drop 2 60-point games, that'll probably put him over where he could win the scoring title. Pretty crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't look at it. I don't think LeBron is chasing, and I'm not even a LeBron fan. I'm a Dwayne Wade fan, but
nice.
I respect this game, LeBron's game. I don't think he's chasing GOAT status as the GOAT status we give MJ, right? I think he's chasing something completely different. He's creating his own legacy. He's probably going to be the only one, if he does make it, the only one to play with his son in the league. He's probably going to be the only one to have all of these stats. Now, granted, all stats that you have are not all good stats because you lead the league in turnovers. But that is a stat that you lead in, points, assists, rebounds, all of that stuff. Like, he's going to be top 5, top 3 in a lot of these categories. So he's literally creating his own legacy now. Is it the same legacy, like you said, the basketball fans are that true fans of the game? Are we big on these things? No, we're big on winning. How are you getting the job done? What are you doing to sacrifice to get the job done? So we look at it like that. But LeBron, he is setting up a pretty good resume for himself as well, and I think that kind of overshadows his skills on the court. Because
you do know is more people on the side of how I think about LeBron James' career than it is stands, and like it's just more on this side. Like it's more people that's looking at that like ew, like that's disgusting and like really you forcing it? Oh, really you manipulating it? Like you couldn't win in Cleveland, so you really created a super team in Miami, and then when Wade knees got bad, he's supposed to be your boy, but you rolled out now, and you start comparing it to who he wanted to be compared with Michael Jordan. And like, man, when Pippen started getting old, Jordan didn't leave him. Like he kept playing with his old guys. Like, look, man, we go keep going. Like Rodman was 37 years old the last time they won a ring.
Yeah.
Damn, for real?
But Rodman came in old age. I think Rodman came in at 26, 27.
Yeah. Remember, Rodman had a whole entire career as a bad boy Piston. And we're talking about Rodman with the Bulls like he was just some spring chicken.
Nah.
You get what I'm saying? Like he had a whole career with Detroit, and Isaiah, John Sally, Joe Dumars, who else? Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn, all them dudes was retired and out of the league, and Rodman still hooping. And then by the time, and then he goes to San Antonio and does with them 2-3 years, and then finally comes to the Bulls in a trade for Will Perdue. That shows you how much people really cared about Rodman. They traded him for Will Perdue, and he shows up, and all of a sudden everybody say, "Oh, it's a super team." He had Rodman, and the dude was 37 that last year with a knee brace on the size of Chicago.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So and these are the guys MJ wanted to go to war with, because they was fighters, not because he could give them 30 points. Like LeBron left Cleveland and was like, I can't get it done like MJ did it, so I'm gonna orchestrate my own super team, and I'm gonna pick a proven 30 points per game scorer in D Wade, who's already got a ring, by the way, and then I'm gonna pick my third co-star to be another guy who's averaging 25 points per game and carrying the franchise, and I'm gonna put them together and join my team. Like everybody LeBron has to play with, his number two, his co-star has to be a certified bucket getter, someone who can get 30 at any night, because having that guy being automatic as a scorer covers a multitude of sins of things that LeBron can't do, like shoot free throws, be clutch, play off the ball and all that stuff. It just make it easy if your number two is a certified. His number twos are on Kobe level as scorers, and his number threes are past Pippen level as scorers. Like Love, Bosh, and J.R. Smith score better than Pippen, and those was his number threes.
Absolutely.
That is crazy.
That's true.
It's crazy.
I mean, it goes back like a couple years back. I had asked, I had explained to you why I think LeBron is so great, right? He continuously got better at something. Like everything he was criticized back, he went into the lab and he got better at. First 2 years, they told you,
it was manipulation, boys. That was manipulation. He didn't get better at none of that.
Well, he didn't get better, but he came out
he went and practiced with Hakeem for optics. There's a reason why they jumped hit YouTube.
Mel ain't giving him nothing.
No, he did that for everything he has done in his career has been to manipulate us into thinking he's actually doing something. He manipulated us to act like, because the knock on him when he got beat so bad by the Mavs in that finals the first year with the Heat was that, look, man, LeBron, you got to learn how to play off the ball. You got to do this. You got to do X, Y, and Z. You got to learn how to post up, because you just couldn't score. You was averaging like 13 points in that series. You had one game where you had 9 points or 11 points. That's horrible. So everybody kept saying he needed to be a post player. So he went and got with Hakeem and put it on TV, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's working on his post." Man, he still ain't got no post game. He still ain't got no post game. And then after he worked with Hakeem, they asked him, "Man, hey man, what you think about the LeBron and Jordan? Hey man, Michael Jordan is a far superior player. It's not." He said it's not even a fair comparison. He said it's not a fair comparison. Michael Jordan is a far superior player, and this is after working with LBJ for the whole summer, for him to come back just so they can say, all right, what really happened, LeBron didn't develop more game. What they did was they acquiesced to LeBron and was like, okay, we'll let you play Bron ball, we'll give you the ball, and we gonna make Wade figure out what he go do. So you'll have the ball. You don't have to develop no post game. You don't have to develop no jump shot. We just go give you the ball and get out your way, and we'll bring in Ray Allen. We're bringing Rashard Lewis, just bring shooters in, and we'll just run Brown offense. And that's how that worked. If you look at the quote from D Wade, he said, I just got to realize I'm playing with the best player on the world right now, and I can't be, he pretty much said, I can't be D Wade because this guy's better than me. So I had to be something else.
So do you think him teaming up, from Dwayne Wade's point of view, do you think him teaming up with Bron kind of hindered his career? You think he could have done more?
No, because they won they got 2 chips out of it, and they had 4 phenomenal seasons. It just shows how good D Wade is to be able to adjust on the fly like that.
Right.
But what LeBron did for D Wade is exactly what Gabrielle Union has done for him. He went out there, snatched his balls.
I ain't gonna how you talk about my boy, man. let's keep it on the court.
But,
I gotta hit the fire thing for that one.
You gotta drop the Kawhi laugh, man.
All right, let me get to the comments, man. I gotta go watch this game though. How can you be considered the best all-around player if you don't play defense? That's another point. People think all around means points, assists, rebounds. No, all around means offense and defense. That's the only 2 sides of the ball. So you can't go all around in the circle if you just do a half crescent and just leave defense out of the equation. Like that's not all around.
Right.
Mike, it makes sense, Mike. Like all around means you have to touch the whole phases of the game, which part of that is defense. And he quit playing defense out the mind.
I think LeBron is a great help side defender. Like he understands defense enough that, you know, he knows if such and such is driving this way or that way, he knows where to be. He knows where to position other guys. Like, hey, if he comes here, trap him here, do this. Like he's mentally there, but as far as on an individual standpoint, like I can't give him that. Like, I'm not saying he's a trash defender, but he's not the greatest defender, or he's not top 10 in my opinion. But
no. Here's a good question. One of y'all can answer. Has any previous scoring title winner had a losing record or not been in a playoff team?
Ooh. No.
Well, it's easy to find because we can easily pick 10. Well, let's just start from the 90s when MJ started, or the 86 when MJ started winning. Well, that's 10. We know for a fact is no.
I was gonna say, is AI one of them?
No, AI got it. AI got his first scoring title the lockout season because he only played 48 games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's gotten it more than once? I think it's like 6 times, right?
Nah, AI got it 4 times.
4 times, okay.
T-Mac got it 3 times. Melo got it once. KD got it 4 or 5 times. Like none of those guys was missing the playoffs when they won it. None of them.
Yeah, OKC was in the playoffs every year. KD got that.
Yeah,
and they made it to the finals one year.
And the Knicks definitely went to the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Facts. Rodman averaged 5 points a game. Like if LeBron James number 3 was only a rebounding defender, they would have never made it to the finals. He needed his number 2 to be a certified bucket, and he needed his number 3 to be a certified bucket. Like he could like Pippen was only giving MJ 17 points a game as a number 2.
Dennis Rodman fully understood the assignment. I'm not here for none of the flashy stuff. I'm here to get rebounds. I'm here to play defense, and I will let y'all do the rest.
But
and that was good enough for MJ.
It was so crazy when I watched The Last Dance. Hearing how Rodman broke down a rebound, I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
I've never how do you in real live game time situations, how do you slow it down so much for yourself that you can figure out the spin on the ball, how it hits the rim and where it's going?
I mean, that's a master at craft. The same way Kyrie, AI, all these ball handlers, they know exactly where the ball is going when they throw it out. They know where it's going to go. They know how many steps it's going to take for them to catch up to the same thing. Just a master of their craft, man.
So what has LeBron mastered besides running 100 miles an hour at the rim?
He's a master passer. That's for sure. He's a master passer. He's a master manipulator, and just like they're saying, he's a master of longevity.
Right.
He's a magician, man.
I mean, I can't knock that. Like I've said before, transition offense is his bread and butter, because like if you're a big dude and you can move like that, then you're gonna use that to your advantage. So I can't knock him for that at all. Like If you a little dude on me and I'm coming at the rim, yeah, I'm gonna move you or I'm gonna get around you. But I think to what these guys were saying, the point is, as he's gotten older, he has never evolved his game to where, okay, I can't do it like I used to do before. So let me start posting these dudes and let me at least get 10 buckets in the post, or let me facilitate from the post versus standing at the top of the key, and trying to, make everything work. And to Mel's point, like you say, he's a great passer. Like, great passer. He has a point guard's mentality. The problem is he's 6'8", 260 at the top of the key trying to play point guard. And you got your guards running around not knowing what the hell to do because they don't know how to play the three,
Facts. There it is. All right, man. Well, we just hit an hour, man. I really only want to be 30 seconds, man. I appreciate y'all jumping on, man. Hey, look.
Hey, root for them Tar Heels. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, don't say that in front of my man, man.
Duke Nation, baby.
Hey, Coach K's face was looking so, and he looked like he was taking a dump, man. The way he looked walking off, he was straining.
All I'm gonna say is, if North Carolina does not get the job done, it proves that their championship games are to beat Duke. That's all I'm gonna say.
But it was a great game, though, man.
So, because North Carolina native, so I got it tatted on my arm. So that's the only reason I will root for him.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great game. It could have went either way. I'm sorry, it could have went either way, but it was a great game down the stretch, man.
What y'all think about the pro prospects? Is it any on either team? Like this year, I know if Love stay one more year, he'll probably be a lottery pick next year.
I said a bold statement. Mark Williams, the big man from Duke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think he gets drafted before Chet. Chet is based off strictly potential. That's what his draft pick is so high. It's strictly potential. We see what you can be, but Mark Williams, he has that package now. Great post, big man that can run the floor. I'm protecting the paint.
Which one? 15 or 21?
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Williams. He's a 7-footer. 7-footer.
I like him.
Like running back and forth, defending, hustling. I think he gets drafted before Chet. Now, that's just bold prediction. It's not likely, but that's
I like him. I like him. But what about Love?
What I told you, Dino, about
Caleb
I thought about Chet?
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, you look at Chet's game now, and it's like, all right, that's cool for college. It's not really too many people that's, built like you are doing what you're doing at your size in college. But you go to the league at that size with that bag, or the quote unquote bag that he has. You got Kevin Durant, who's a 7-footer, who handles the ball like a point guard, who has speed. You don't have a Kevin Durant bag. Then you go to the other side of it. You have Giannis, who's strong as all hell, can run fast, can play super duper defense, can charge the rim. You don't have that either. You're not that size. So if you're not those two guys that are 7-footers, and you're not like a Jokic or you're not like Joel Embiid, what exactly are you going to bring to this league?
But let's not get it twisted. Giannis had to put on 60 pounds.
He did. So,
right.
But we all know that myth is true about how a black man's physique is able to be molded a little easier than a white guy. I mean, we just have less body fat by nature, and it's easy for us to build muscle. However, I will say this: they're marketing Chet Holmgren as a shot blocker, and he does get he do got above 7-foot wingspan, and I think he's almost 7 foot. He can be a shot blocker, so they're saying even if his offense doesn't pan out, he can at least give you Rudy Gobert potential at the rim. I don't really agree with that. Rudy Gobert is skinny and thin, but he still seems like one of those. He's got those African bones. It's just different, right?
You said Rudy Gobert is skinny and thin.
He's a slim.
For his size, he is. He's what, 7'2"?
Yeah, but he's not slender like Chet. But my point is, I don't even know if he reaches that Rudy Gobert potential in the NBA as a defender, as a shot blocker. I don't even know.
I don't think he will.
So he got if they're saying he's a shot blocker, he may be, but on offense, he's very polished on offense.
Mm-hmm.
But so was Keith Van Horn, very polished on offense, and it didn't pan out. And I think he got more Keith Van Horn potential than anything. He's gonna be a very polished offensive player that can't dominate at the NBA level. I would actually take a chance on Imani Bates before I would on Chet.
I think Imani Bates is gonna do great,
and
no matter where he goes.
Stepson?
Well, you stupid. You stupid, man. He said Chet might play like Cat. No.
Hell no.
Cat.
Hell no.
Cat is a
Cat developed that bag. Cat built that bag that he got.
Cat always had that bag. He just needed something from within inside him to push him. You know, Cat always had that. Cat was nice like that and playing ball coming up, you know, but he didn't have that killer mentality. Like, okay, I'm gonna use my size as an event. But we've seen the difference when he does tap into that.
Man, I wish I had more time, man. Y'all, we done got into college, man. I'd love to. We gonna have to jump back on, man. What y'all doing? I don't know, man. I guess
unpacking, man. I ain't doing nothing. I'm here.
All right, man. We might have to jump.
I took today off because.
Okay, bet. Y'all want to jump back on after the Lakers game?
Sure, you can do that.
Yeah, I can try to get back on. I'll be at work, but I'll try to get in.
Okay.
All right, fellas. I appreciate it, man. Hey, until next time. Hey, don't forget, man. Don't be fooled and manipulated by this master magician, man. Don't be fooled, man. And if you watching now, man, go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well, man. And then check us out when we come back after the Lakers game.
I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
You too, Mike.
Y'all in a bit, man.
All right.